Qué rollo, quiero mandar un saludo a mi amigo Goodfella de parte de tu amigo Jaime Munguía. Un abrazo, canal. Ánimo.
All right, man. Dana White said he's waging war on boxing and continues to do so silently. I don't see nobody else talking about some of this stuff, but and I'm gonna speak on it. The portion about Crawford and Spence, but he says that they're going to start doing events, UFC events on Mexican holidays. Now you seeing some people say, "Good luck, it's Mexican religion. You know, nobody's gonna support it." I mean, I don't know. I'm not Mexican. But shout out to my Mexican homies or whatever. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I tried to get to it, but you know, he went head up with Crawford and Spence silently. I don't think I knew that till the day of the fight. I'm at, Dave and Buster's, the closed circuit, and I'm looking at the wall, Derek Lewis fighting on the wall. So I'm like, oh shit, I did some research. They fought in Salt Lake City, so heard it was a nice turnout. Never been out to Utah. But one thing I say about Dana White, and check out the MMA playlist and the Boxing News playlist. One thing about Dana White, he has the mindset that boxing used to have as far as expanding the brand. I mean, he got dojos all over the world. They fight in Salt Lake. They fight everywhere. They got a performance center. Think about that for a minute. Top Rank got a performance center. UFC got a performance center. You know what I'm saying? They got dojos all over the place. And PBC ain't got no performance center for their fighters. Not one. Not one. That's kind of strange. But at the same time, he waging war on those dates. Now, will he ever would have pressed Floyd Mayweather like that? Absolutely not. He never would have tried Floyd Mayweather for those dates. He never would have tried Floyd Mayweather for those dates. Listen to me. He never would have attempted. They wouldn't even with ESPN Plus, they would never put the money up or attempt to go head up with Mayweather. Now you ask me what's the difference with ESPN Plus if you don't know. Difference with ESPN Plus, they're not using the cable companies. Everything goes through ESPN Plus. You buy the pay-per-view through ESPN Plus. With the cable companies, you use the cable companies or the satellite and cable companies. You split the revenue with them. I think it's split 10% goes to the network if it's HBO, ESPN, and then the other percentage is split in some way. I forget. I did a video on this. It's split between the satellite and cable companies and the boxing people, the promoters and fighters and all that stuff. So I think that's 10, and it might, I don't know, it might be a 40-40 split, 40-40 and 10 to the network. So we're going through ESPN Plus. We're going through ESPN Plus. You save whatever that percentage is. If it's 40%, 35%, 30%. You save that percentage. You keep it. So I don't know if they divided amongst ESPN, they divided amongst Top Rank. So now I don't need the cable companies. But the downside is the cable companies are the one that puts the promotion. They are supposed to help promote the fight. But they have not been doing that anyway. Excuse me. They haven't been promoting and pushing fights anyway. So you cut them out. You don't need them to distribute no more. So you go straight through ESPN Plus. So that allows you to go head up to whoever you want to go head up with. If it's Mayweather, if it's Canelo, if it's whoever it may be. So yeah. So that is what it is. But at the same time, continuing on, it's a challenge to Canelo, and maybe they get numbers that saying Canelo starting to slip, and then who the next Mexican up to take the baton from Canelo. That's what you got to ask yourself. Canelo's starting to get weaker and weaker. If he gonna fight the Charlos, and then fight Terrence Crawford or don't fight David Benavidez, it's time to strike now. It's time to strike while the iron hot. Now, the quality of cards they're going to be putting on is going to be interesting. Obviously, it's probably got to be headlined by Mexicans, and a lot of Mexicans that's under that card, bro, in my humble opinion. So, it's going to be on that card. But Canelo's getting weaker and weaker with his opponent selection. So, I mean, when he lost to Bivol, they probably saw a little bit of blood. They probably saw some of the numbers versus Billy Joe, Caleb Plant. Dana White probably sat there, heard the real industry numbers, like, okay, this time to kind of steal this from boxing. And he's waging war on boxing. I mean, the dude went straight head up with Crawford and Spence silently. Nobody gave that a reason why Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia possibly did better numbers. They didn't have to compete with a UFC card, and the UFC card outsold the boxing card. It did more pay-per-views according to them. If my memory serves me correctly, I did a video on it. It did more views than them. So at the end of the day, they did something correct. So it's wild out here. It's wild. It's super duper wild, bro. So yeah, they smell blood. They smell Canelo getting weaker. I mean, you got sparring partners going out here saying, you know, he looking tired. That's tired, boss. He looking tired, and he on the downswing of things, and maybe not living life right outside the ring. It's hard to live right when you got resources. You know what I'm saying? You never see people turn to God in times of while they prosper. You know, times of need and darkness, everybody want to seek a higher being. Everybody want to pray. Everybody want to find some type of faith. You know, and then when they get what they want, a lot of people like, you know, they lose faith. They lose track about how they got there. No, and that's the hilarious thing about it too, man. And I was talking to somebody. I ain't gonna put the business out there. I'm talking to somebody. I'm gonna keep it. Talking to somebody, and they were telling me how, you know, they grew up, you know, hardcore in religion and all this and this, that, and the third, and you know, they grew up in the church, and just hearing how they family actually moved and some of the things they did, you know, you wonder why. You don't have to wonder why people are turned off by church. You don't have to wonder why. Because a lot of young people, it's a conflict. You telling me to live like this, but you living like that. You know, and obviously, the person I was speaking to, that trickled down to them. And why our relationship failed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was no different from the apple that fell from the, you know, it was no different from the tree. It was the apple that fell from the tree. That's why I tell y'all, man, men and women, because I want to help both, that you gotta watch what people listen and watch what people say. Listen what they say and watch what they do. Most importantly, listen. If they mama moved a certain way, the daddy moves a certain way, sisters move a certain way, brothers move a certain way, they're no different than them. Now, if you get with somebody, the mama married to the daddy and the sisters all married, the brothers married, they are in healthy relationships, then 9 times out of 10, guess what? Bam. So, just, you know, just what it is, bro. We want to be ignoring the signs. And there are some exceptions to the rules. But we do know it's a lot of fools out here getting played like April Fools. But nonetheless, Dana White is just, Dana White, you know, like I said, he playing for keeps. He playing for keeps. You know, and this is what you do. This is how you wage a war and win a war. And maybe you need Dana White to come in and start kicking the dough in, waving the fofo. Canelo saying, Dana, don't hit me no more. You know, for boxing to get his shit together. Maybe you need Dana White to come in and start pressing on them Canelo days. So if Canelo ain't gonna fight David Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? If he ain't gonna fight David Benavidez, rematch Bivol, or give you the fights that y'all got that we want to see, then I know I'll be doing a whole bunch of my car, but I'm on my break. So shit, I gotta figure everything out on my break. You know, then Dana White say, guess what? If you ain't gonna get the fans what they want, we gonna give them what they want. In respect. So, but you know, is this a problem? Absolutely. I think we all kind of seen the problem, you know, subconsciously when he went straight up with Crawford and Spence. Dana White is waging a war on boxing. He feel like he got boxing on the edge, and you know, we see how people respond, how Mexicans respond. I can't speak on it. So y'all let me know how y'all feel, brothers, sisters, Mexicans most importantly. Let me know what y'all think, Hispanics. All of y'all, let me know how y'all feel about it. But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, who next after Canelo? If he ain't going to pass the torch to Munguia, if he ain't going to pass the torch to Benavidez, Dana White might be striking at the perfect time. Forget the iron being hot. He might be striking at the perfect time. For real. He might be striking at the perfect time. So it is what I mean. Am I concerned about it, man? I just think boxing needs to just be burnt to the need to be burnt all the way up and rebuilt up. You know, they gave us some hope with tanking them and all them type of people. They gave us some hope. But then they had a hell of a dead period. You can't have them dead periods. You know, that's why a lot of people YouTube channel don't survive. You got to have some type of consistency. I told people, everybody's like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel. First thing I tell you is get started and be consistent. If you're going to drop a video every Wednesday, drop it every Wednesday. You're going to drop one a day. You're going to drop one at 6 a.m. on every Monday, drop it 6 a.m. on every Monday. Boxing, if they're going to defeat them, you know, fend off the UFC and defeat them, they have to be consistent. They have the roster. And UFC is dealing with roster issues as well, too. Because you got all these other different PFLs and all these other leagues, you know, poaching, Bellator poaching stuff. So, do I think it's going to be a problem in the near or the far term? Absolutely, it's a problem. It's going to be anytime somebody willing to pull viewerships away from you and go against one of your biggest dates, it's a problem. It's a sign of weakness. So, might make Canelo step his game up, boy. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Check out the Box News playlist, check out the MMA playlist. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. But this ninja late. But yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. Peace.